Many men think energy crashes are mysterious. They assume it is age, or discipline, or caffeine tolerance. But very often the first problem is simpler. The body is handling meals less cleanly than it used to. After lunch, focus drops. Cravings show up in the afternoon. The body wants another hit of stimulation before dinner. That does not always mean disease. Sometimes it means the post-meal signal has become noisier. And one of the easiest ways to influence that signal is not with a supplement. It is with what happens immediately after the meal. Let's look at the mechanism behind this. After eating, glucose enters circulation and has to be cleared, distributed, and stored efficiently. Skeletal muscle plays a major role in that process. When muscle is inactive for long periods, the post-meal handling problem often gets harder. But when you move shortly after a meal, even lightly, muscular demand rises and the incoming signal can be managed more efficiently. That matters because energy instability is often not only about what enters the system. It is also about how violently the system has to respond to it. If the spike is larger and the correction is clumsier, people feel that as sleepiness, brain fog, cravings, and unstable concentration. Research suggests postprandial walking can improve glycemic control in older adults at risk for impaired glucose tolerance, and evidence also indicates breaking up prolonged sitting can improve glucose and insulin outcomes. So the mechanism is not magical, it is practical. Movement gives muscle something to do with the incoming energy. That helps reduce the sense that the body is overreacting to normal meals. And after 40, that matters more because metabolic flexibility is often already drifting before a person crosses into obvious disease. So the post-meal walk works not because it is trendy, but because it improves the transition from intake to disposal. It helps the system process the event more cleanly. Now for the intervention layer. The practical experiment is extremely simple. Stop asking only what to eat. Start asking what the next 10 to 20 minutes will look like. Will you sit immediately? Will you get back into a chair for 3 hours? Or will you give the body a brief movement window to process the meal more smoothly? That is why a short walk is such a useful tool. It fits real life. It does not require special equipment. It does not force a total dietary overhaul. And because it is small, it is repeatable. The strategic value of small, repeatable levers is usually underestimated. Men often chase high-intensity interventions because they feel more serious, but stable energy is often built from boring timing decisions that improve signal quality day after day. A 15-minute walk after larger meals can help because it changes the metabolic context of the meal. It tells muscle to participate. It reduces the long-seated block immediately after intake. It smooths the handling problem before the crash arrives. That does not mean every meal now requires a ritual. It means that when energy is unstable, a brief walk is one of the cleanest experiments available. If afternoon fog improves, if cravings ease, if the second caffeine craving fades, that is useful information. It means the issue may not have been willpower. It may have been post-meal handling quality. That also points to a better way to think about food. Instead of asking whether carbohydrates are good or bad in the abstract, they can ask what meal patterns and what post-meal behaviors produce the cleanest output in this specific system. That is a much more useful engineering question because the goal is not perfect glucose. It is cleaner, more stable energy across the day. Here is the system interaction to keep in mind. The trade-off is that a short walk is a leverage point, not a total replacement for sleep, training, diet quality, or overall movement. If the full system is badly designed, walking after meals will help, but it will not erase everything. Still, useful leverage points matter, especially when they are easy enough to repeat until the body starts behaving more predictably. Energy stability is rarely built from one heroic action. It is usually built from small timing decisions that make the metabolic signal cleaner. After 40, that can matter more than people expect.